Hello everyone. Today we let us discuss or continue with the previous topic we were discussing. The next topic would be the most important thing in this computer is interpreter and the compiler when you are doing any programming. Okay. So what is the difference between this interpreter and compiler? In general, we say a compiler is a what does the compiler do is you have a source code and the source code will be converted to the mission level language, okay, or the object code. Okay, user is going to write the program understandable by his, that is we say human language. The compiler converts the human level language to the mission level language, that is high level language to mission level language, that is user gives the instructions in one way, that is called a human level language or high level language, and that can be converted to the machine instruction. So then only we can say the computer understands understands the in its language. Okay, so whereas when it comes to interpreter just imitates the source code what you are writing. Okay, it executes the code line by line, whereas the compiler, it compiles the entire code and then gives the instructions. So when it comes to the faster executions, we say compiler executes the code much faster than the interpreter. Okay, so here we say Python is also high level language which is intended to be relatively straightforward for the humans to read and write and for the computers to read and process. Okay, so high level some other high level languages like we have C++, Java, Ruby, Perl, JavaScript. Okay, so the actual hardware inside, that is the central processing unit, does not understand any of this language. Okay, these high level languages directly cannot be understood by the CPU. So CPU understands a language we call, that is called as a machine level language or machine language. So what is that machine level language? So machine language is very simple and frankly very tiresome to write because it is represented in zeros one. We say machine level language means it is set of the zeros and the ones. This is how the CPU understands the instructions given by the user, or you whatever the instructions written in the high level language, that will be converted to the machine level language. Okay, so machine level language seems to be simple on the surface, but when you try to write the program it will be very difficult how you can understand the zeros and the ones. Okay, so we can say no programmer can write this, or we say very few programmers ever write this machine level language. So instead what we do is we have a various translators to allow the programmers to write in the high level language like Python or JavaScript, and these translators convert the program to machine level language. So to convert this high level language to machine language we need some medium, so that is called as the translators. Okay, so the programs which were written in the high level languages can be moved between different computers by using different interpreter on the new machine and recompiling the code to create a machine language version of the program for the new machine. Okay, so when it comes to translators, we have the two general categories. One is interpreter and the other one is compiler. I have already told you difference between the interpreter and the compiler. So interpreter, it reads the source code of the program written by the programmer, it parses the source code and interprets the instructions on the fly. Okay, so whereas the compiler, it needs to be handed the entire program in the file and then it runs the process to translate the high level source code into the machine language, and then this compiler puts the resulting machine language into a file for later execution. It compiles the entire code and then it gives for the execution, whereas the interpreter, each and every line will be executed. Okay, so it is not easy to read or write machine language, so it would be good that we have interpreters and compilers that allow us to write the high level languages like Python or the C. Okay, so this is a major difference between the interpreter and the compiler. So the next topic is how to write a program, writing program. So how we can write the program in the Python programming language. Okay, so first thing is when you are typing the commands into the Python interpreter, we say it is a great way to experiment with the Python features, but it is not recommended for solving the more complex problem. So when we want to write any program, we use a editor like a text editor to write the Python instructions into a file which is called as script. Okay, so when by convention the Python scripts or the Python programs will have names that will end with the .py extension. So the extension for the Python file names could be .py. So to execute the script, you have to tell the Python interpreter the name of the file. In the command window, you type the Python hello dot. For example, I have a file name hello.py and I have set of the instructions written in the hello.py. This is how you can call them, hello.py, and you'll be writing some set of the instructions. So when you call this hello.py, then you'd get some instructions whatever written as has the output. Okay, so that is the simple way how you can write the program. So here you can see the dollar operating system prompt showing us that hello.py is a one-line program to print the start. So we can say here dollar, this is the start of the hello world program, and it shows the starting of the program. Okay, so when you want to compile, when you are writing the file, or when you want to write the set of the instruction, then you can write $cat hello.py. Okay, but in the higher level Python software, it is not required to write this Python and the cat. It is directly gives you a chevron prompt where you can write the set of the instructions. Okay, so the next thing is, what is program? In general, every programming language will be having the meaning what exactly is the program. In the similar way, for the Python also we say Python is a set of the instructions or the rules, or we can say a sequence of the Python statements. Okay, so that is called the program. Okay, fine. So the next topic is what are the building blocks of the program. Okay, so we have the 6 building blocks of the programs. One is input, output, and the third one is sequential execution, conditional execution, repeated execution, and then reuse. Input, so when you get the data from the outside world, this must be reading data from a file or even some kind of the sensor. Like when you give input, whenever the user is giving some set of the input or giving the input from the outside world, for example from a sensor like microphone or GPS, you are giving some input, such as giving voice modulations through microphone. So in this initial programs, our output will come from the user typing data on the keyboard. So in keyboard can also be considered as the input device. You can give the input through the keyboard. Output, so when it comes to output, whenever you want to display the results of any program on the screen, so we say that is an output device, like monitor is output device, and store them in a file or perhaps write them to device like speaker to play music, or the speak. We have a speakers, whenever you want to play a speaker would be a output device. So the next one is sequential execution. It performs these statements one after the other in the order they are executed. Sequential, obviously performing the set of instructions or the rules one after the other. Conditional is you will be specifying some set of the conditions. According to that conditions, the set of the statements must be executed, or if you want to execute or the skip some set of the statements based on that condition, that can be done. So that is called conditional execution. Next one is repeated execution. So when you perform some set of the statements repeatedly, usually with some variation. Okay, when you want to, for example, say for loop. So for loop says you will have a repeated set of the executions of that particular blocks of the statement. Reuse. Next one is reuse. So here we write a set of the instructions once and give them a name, and then reuse those instructions as needed throughout the program. Okay, so reusing the same program and give some name to that particular file, and then you reuse that particular file everywhere in the program. That is called the reuse. So these are the building blocks of the program. So the next thing is what could possibly go wrong. Okay, so what would be the errors you probably find in the Python programming language? So in general, what the things go wrong is syntax errors, logical errors, and then semantic errors. Okay, so syntax errors can be these are the first errors you will make, and easiest to syntax errors is easy to fix. Okay, that is Python will give you this is the mistake what you have done. Okay, the syntax errors means that you have violated the grammar or the rules of the Python. Okay, that means a Python does this by to, and then Python will be trying to point out which line has gone wrong, what you have done. For example, if you have missed the parenthesis, it is showing you it is an invalid syntax, missing parenthesis. Okay, so the only tricky bit of the syntax errors is sometimes the mistake needs fixing is actually earlier in the program than where Python noticed it would be confused. Okay, so the line character the Python indicates the syntax error may be just starting point for your investigation. So the next one is logic error is when your program has good syntax but there is a mistake and you don't know how what mistake it has gone. Okay, So the next one is semantics, and semantics errors are very difficult to identify. So when you give a description of steps to take syntactically perfect in the right order, but